Hello all and welcome to live stream 60. Woohoo! Number 60. Who we got here joining us today? Let's see if we have our regular cast of creepy characters. We have Radios. Hello, buddy. Let me see if I'm oh yeah, there we go. Bonnie's here, keeping me on my toes. Hello, Jeffrey. Remjet, my buddy Remjet's here. Swap meet was a success. Yes, I know. I want to hear about your finds, Radios. Regular 8 cameras aplenty. I've really been getting deeply into regular 8 lately. I haven't done a lot of regular 8 in my life, but it's sort of been it's been really getting to me lately. I don't know, there's something about regular 8 that's just so insanely appealing. Jeffrey says, was good this week, no new gear. Well, I did get a shoe mounted light meter. That's new gear. So bravo. Hey, Ben is here. Hello, buddy. How are you? Good to see you here, as usual. Ben's got a great live stream, guys. Every Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. his time, I believe, at Zero Budget Film School. Joe Schmo. Hey, Rich. Rich is here. Good to see you as always, Rich. Really is good to see you, buddy. Butch Magnum is here. Greetings. Rimjet says the big 6-0. Finally a live stream that's older than me. All right, it's been a few that are older than me. Eric is here. Hey, buddy. Matthew is here. Speaking of Matthew, those are my special effects. I'm starting to get my Tri-X's back. You know, our fun little Tri-X? I got Dave Knopp's back a couple days ago. I have Matthews and I have Jeffrey's. The only ones we're missing are Mike and Manny. Well, and mine. So the 3 M's, Mike and Manny, are missing. So that's going to be fun. In the next couple weeks, we'll see what we get, and I'm going to start processing those as soon as we get them all together. And then I think what I'm going to do, because Dave Knopp had a good idea. He asked me if I would give him the file and let him sort of mess with the finished file, add his own music and whatnot. So I think I'm going to do that. For those of you that have the Tri-X roll that I sent out for the little fun thing we did, I sent 5 rolls of Tri-X to different people. If you have those, if you're one of those 5, you can either do one of 2 things. I'm going to process it. I can send you the file. You can work it a little bit, add music, whatever, or you can trust that I will add music to your liking. Super Cine is here. Hello, how are you? Jeffrey Feingold is here. Good day. PD is here. Creepy Caster. Hi. Got those 16mm rolls, landed at just under $50 with shipping. Remind me, Bonnie, those were the... Was that Ektachrome? I'm trying to remember. No, it wasn't Ektachrome, but I can't remember what those were. But if they're under $50 and you got more than one, that's a good deal. 3 Bell & Howell dial cameras, 2 220s, 1 319, a Kodak Brownie 8, a Wallensack or Wolenzik 46, fanciest of the lot, and a Revere 8. Did you get all of those cameras? Because if you did, that's pretty fancy. Speaking of pretty fancy, there she goes, Piper. That's pretty awesome. Did you get them all, or did you just see them all? Hey, Barry finally made it. Barry's here. And another SX70. Very cool. Those SX70s are great little Polaroids. And my footage too, I hope. I haven't gotten your footage. I did respond to you. I was at my P.O. box yesterday, Radios, on Saturday. My wife and I went over there, and it was about 11 in the morning, and it wasn't there. I found Dave Knopp's film in there. Yours wasn't there yet. Now, that doesn't mean it's not coming yesterday. I may have been there too early. Super Cine says he managed, or she, I'm sorry, managed to pick up a couple of rolls of Agfa Movie chrome, a roll of Ektachrome and a roll of MFA. Not really sure what that is. We'll have to play. MFA is that's old surveillance film, Super 8 surveillance film. I believe that's what that is. I don't know what made it different. It's a black and white film, but it's a it was used in the, can't remember what they were. If Travis was here, he knows. He has one of the cameras. The Kodak came out with a line of cameras for mounting in your place of business, and it would click off a frame, I guess. I don't know how often. I don't know a lot about them, but I can't remember what they were called, like Reporter, or that's not it. Maybe it's the Reporter. I don't remember what they're called, but that's what that film was originally made for. Hey, Russell's here. How are you, buddy? Also found a Texas Instruments 994A. Is that the computer? TI 994A. That's the computer. I've had 2 of those now in my lifetime. It was the first computer I ever had, and I loved it. So then I got one to revisit it, you know, a few years back, and I can't remember it being all that great, so I got rid of it. Gordon Webster is here. How are you, my friend? You know, Gordon, here's something. You and I had some emails back and forth about the Morse G3 tank. I am finally up to par and up to date on what's actually going on here. I was confused. I thought you were using 100-foot spools, but I believe you were using 50-foot spools. So I was wrong. You were right. 30 seconds is what you were shooting for. I thought they were 100 foot. That's why I kept saying it's a minute. But you're absolutely right. You were spot on. 99.4A. Jeffrey says, just to make sure it's non-copywritten music. Yes, if it's copywritten music, I'm not going to be happy. Get it on YouTube. Even though, I got to tell you, to be honest with you, they will just demonetize that video. I mean, don't use modern day music on your Tri-X film. Don't use, you know, regular radio music. Try to find something in the YouTube library or something that's royalty free. But oftentimes, like I played Russell, as we all know Russell, I played his music video on my live stream, and that got demonetized, which again, I don't really care. I don't make any money on these anyway, so it didn't really matter. But I just let you know, if you can, use music that is copyright free. Oh, the 3 rolls of Plus X. Yes, that is a good deal, Bonnie. Oh, you did get them all. Good score. I hope you got a good deal on them. Well, I don't think you would have got them if you didn't get a good deal, so congrats. 100 MFA, very cool. Remjet, am I right? That I believe that is the film that was made for the surveillance cameras. Good morning, all filmers. Hey, Jim Cahill's here. Hey, buddy. Howdy from Southern Arizona. Hello, Mark. Ben says, old radios, is the Wollensack the one with sound? No. Oh, and a Revere reel-to-reel tape deck, and I'm not very sure about. Well, if anyone can figure those out, that would be you. Katie is here. Hello, Katie. S-Star Base, Adrian Cousins tried developing it and said it was a nightmare, like handling saran wrap. Oh boy. Well, that's no fun. Hello, Ben. Some guy had a camera model manufactured 1906 to 12, but I didn't have enough for that, and was a still camera. That's crazy. That's over 100 years old. Oh, 25 feet, 888. Okay. So yeah, you were on, I was off. My bad. I make my own AI music. Well, that's even better. Cool. Sounds interesting. We'll see what the ASA is. By the way, I'm a mic. Okay. You're a male then. You are a mic as well. There are so many mics that join us now. What a great name. Let's see, Travis is here. Travis, I was just talking about that. What is that camera called? The Super 8 camera that Kodak came out. I know you bought one. It's the surveillance camera. They had a name, but I don't remember what it was called. Home in time to watch. Abel is here. Click the thumbs up. Thank you, Jim. What is with mics and film? It's an epidemic. Remjet, your real name's not Mike, is it? We have 3 rolls of 50D and 16 millimeter expired in 2016 at $42, ending in 45 seconds here in Sweden. 3 rolls of 50D. That's a great deal. I mean, even if they're 100-foot rolls, well, I'm sure they are. Yeah, but that's a good deal, Bonnie. Update, it ended at 77. Still a good deal. It really is. Unless it's the 50D, well, 2016. That's going to be Vision 3, probably. Let me look at, I feel like it was something called like the Reporter or something, a single word name like that, Travis. A couple things I want to go over very quickly. How many of you have ever heard of a YouTuber? He YouTubes still, but he doesn't YouTube film stuff. And he was called 16 Millimeter Adventures. Do you guys remember that? He hasn't posted in like 6, 7, 8 years. I don't remember exactly, but quite a while. Going on 8 years probably. But he had a YouTube channel, and he only posted like 6, 7, 8 videos. It was a fun channel. I actually really liked it. I watched it, 8, 10 years ago when he was doing it. Right, Radios. He now is, I was going to say, he's Jazz Townsend and Sons, and he does like these 18th century videos now. And I think he had been doing those previous, and he's got millions of subscribers, and so it's a very popular channel. But then he did a little 16 millimeter adventures channel, and it was a fun little channel. I don't think he was much of a film guy, but I think he was learning, and it was fun watching him experiment. But I want to tell you guys something. It's just a tiny bit goofy and funny that I happened upon a couple days ago. Hey, there's Mike. Another Mike, Flying O. Made it just like my roll of Tri-X. Better late than never. Did you send it? Woohoo! The Townsends. Mark Nichols said, so I got a few 16 millimeter films from the guy I bought the Ikai, and oh, that's right, you got the Ikai, and you got the an NTO projector from yesterday in cans. What's the best way to store and keep them? 1 is Laurel and Hardy films, 2 reels long. Well, keep them in your air-conditioned house. It's fine. They're so old. There's probably not much you can do for them anymore. Anyway, it's going out tomorrow. Thanks, Mike. And Mark, you said you're getting a Super 8 projector as well, right? An Elmo. Excuse me. I use religiously my Elmo ST180ME or something like that, but it's an ST180, the best projector I've ever used. I know some people swear by the 600s or the 1200s, and they're great, but I love my ST180 by Elmo. I do all my film transfer, my audio transfers from Sound Film, Super 8 Sound Film. Jeffrey says, YouTube channels that are not updated and are content you like, I always make a back. Yeah, that's smart. Well, this guy, his channel was called 16 Millimeter Adventures, and he's the John guy or Jazz that does the Jazz Townsend and Sons. His channel's been defunct for quite a few years now, but it was a lot of fun to watch. He would bucket process 16 millimeter film, and just he would do goofy stuff. Yes, Mike. Bucket processing. I remember that one. Anyway, I want to show you guys a couple of photos. The Analyst. I don't know why I kept saying reporter. Yes, thank you, Trav. Thank you. Let me show you. This is, if you aren't aware, this is the guy from 16 Millimeter Adventures. Now, if you're into the 18th century food and clothing and ways of life, he has an amazing channel called Jazz Townsend and Sons. But anyway, he did some 16 millimeter stuff, and he showed a film that he had, and he didn't know what he was going to do with it, and it was this. And it was a Kodak high-speed infrared film. And it was on that video, can you use outdated 16 millimeter film for your next project? And you can see that was 9 years ago, and I just took these screenshots recently. That's the film stock that he showed. Now, I don't know him at all. I've never met him. I've never talked to him. I've never conversed with him in any way, shape, or form. But when he showed this type of film right there, He said he had a bunch of it and he wasn't sure what he was going to do with it because he didn't really know what to do with it. Because it's a tricky film and it's pretty rare, if I'm being honest. And this was 9 years ago. So 6 years ago, or 6 years ago, I bought a whole bunch of this film from somebody. I thought they were in somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if it's Oregon or Washington or something like that. Well, this is him holding up that roll of film. Emulsion number 521810707. Guess who ended up with all of his film? I bought a lot of that film. He must have just got to the point where he didn't know what to do with it anymore and sold it. I don't know if I bought it directly from him because I don't know where he's at. But I did buy it about 6 years ago or something. I know, Mike, very coincidental. When I was revisiting that video, because it was in a recommended YouTube, I revisited it and I said, wow, I never realized that he had that film, that type of film. I want to see what he does with it. And he didn't do anything with it. And then I ended up with it. And I've shot a couple rolls of it before I did my YouTube channel. Anyway, just a fun little coincidence. Jim Cahill says, Elmo projectors are the best. I have the ST1200 that I bought new in the 7. That's the best way to have it. New. Brand new that you got it. Yeah, I love their projectors. And I've had lots of projectors. Lots, as we all have. The Sankyo, the sound ones, I loved. I had UMIG sound projector. Tons of Shinnon projectors. And all of those, you can kind of group in the same sort of bunch. You know, they're all the not bad, just the big plasticky projectors with a couple of features on them. I can't bunch the Elmo in that grouping because I just think they're so much better quality. I got the Elmo ST180E non-magnetic. Okay, well I got the magnetic one, but you're going to love that projector, Mark. As long as it's working, yeah, they're just fantastic projectors. The lost film of Townsend. I know. Now I have a talking point. No. Oh, man. I just thought it was crazy. What is that? Coinky Dinky? From Filmcorn, Kodak sold special black and white film for this camera, Kodak MFX. A thin S-Star base allowed 100 feet. Okay, so was I wrong then? Maybe I got the initials wrong. Because I don't think that it was MFX film that he had. I have to scroll up, but I don't remember. What was it? MFA. Okay, so I was off. Maybe it's not the same stock. Maybe it's an Ektachrome. Hey, there's Jim from Greece, from the other side of the Atlantic. Yeah, they had 100 feet, right? Because it took, what is it, one frame of, I don't know how often it snapped a picture, these cameras, but they were pretty awesome. Pretty ahead of their time. I got a Kodachrome 2 with a December 1971 date with the Wallen. Good. Is that that's going to be, is that Super 8 radios? Is that Super 8 or is that 8mm? It may or may not have been exposed. Then it must be 8mm if you're not sure. 1200 owner here too. It's a blast. Yeah, Ben's got some nice equipment. And if Ben doesn't have the equipment, he knows who to borrow it from. I like my Victors. I had a Victor 16mm. You talking about the Victor projectors, Mike? I loved my Victor 16mm camera. I had a couple of them years ago, 20 years ago or so, 25 years ago. Hey, Pete's here. Hello, buddy. Super Cine, Tobin. So MFX is 100 feet and MFA is 50 feet. So now I don't really know, Super Cine. I guess or Mike, I guess I should have asked first. I got MFX and MFA confused. My Elmo projector slices into My new leader, it needs repairing. I had to replace. Oh, that stinks. Regular rate. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to tell. You might. I don't know. I don't really mess with regular rate. Uh, I mean, obviously you guys probably saw my newest video. That was regular 8 Kodachrome 2. It was gifted to me, so I wanted to do something with it and try to get images from it. But I don't really mess with it when we don't know if it's been exposed or not. Because most of the time it's just junk and you can't get anything out of it. They are, Jim. Man, they are built so nice. Mike says, yes, RCA VIX. Oh, VIX, okay. Melted roller mess ruined the audio tube. That's a bummer. Bummer. So, okay. I got a new camera. Newish, new to me camera. What's that stream with the Vatex? I told everyone how cool it was to see old tech used in modern projection mapping. Was that the one where Ben did the No, that I'm thinking of the one where Ben was doing the Grand Theft Auto. That was fun. Yeah, I know. You could probably hear people in the background. That's my daughter and my wife in the other room. If you're new to this live stream, which I don't think any of you guys are, I just use a camera. It's right here in front of me. I use my Logitech, and the microphone's built into that camera. I'm not wearing a clip-on mic, so you're going to hear my air conditioner and the fan and my wife and my daughter, and that's just the nature of the beast. The Vectrex 80s computer game. Oh, the computer game. Oh, Vectrex. Ewerton. Farias. Hey, do you know Pavan Deep? I know who he is. I have texted with him. He's messaged me a couple of times over the past couple years. He says on his blog that he modified a Keystone A9 into a reflex. His website is Analog Film Academy. Well, that's interesting to know. He's pretty innovative, as far as I know. Like I say, we've talked, he and I, a couple of times, back and forth about different things. I know he was, I believe, wanting to create a new 16mm camera, if I'm not mistaken. But that's interesting. Using my Canon double Super 8, filming various things in Arizona. That's awesome, Jim. Are you using FPP film? The Bell & Howell 319 came with an exposure meter that only goes up to 40 ASA. That's an old one. Your audio sounds fine. Oh, thanks, Jim. Yeah, it's just, it's right through the air. I tried a USB mic or, a couple different options, and it just didn't work. So I said, you know what? We're all friends here. Let's just talk to the air. Very intimate with the MFX stock because it's the second roll of Super 8 I've developed myself. Yes. And I can do 100 feet now at a time of Super 8. You want to know why I can do 100 feet of Super 8? Because I have the G Now. And I got to tell you guys, I did another roll of film in the G Now yesterday. I did it last night. And from the looks of the bottom of this beautiful white bottom cap, can you see towards the red? You're not going to be able to see it. It's starting to go dark a little bit. Why is that? Because I did a rimjet based film in this. Well, let me tell you. How do I say it? I love that. I love that spiral, but I have to get a tank for it. It's very difficult trying to process any movie film if you can't do it all in one container or one tank. So I have to do it. I have to put it in. There it is in the pan. You guys have seen that picture. And here's the darkroom setup. You remember that in my daughter's bathroom? I have to put various pans out to do it in the dark. Well, I did a roll. I shot a roll of film in March of this year in Indiana when we were there visiting. And It was Vision 3 250D. I shot this film. And I wanted to process it in the G-Now 100-foot reel, right? So I shot this in my Aeroflex 16ST, and let me tell you what happened. Jim says, worm gear, mirror plate, and bulb, the nightmares of a... Yeah, Filmboy24, I know. I'm new here, I'm from Brazil, and thanks for your channel, I'm learning a lot. Well, thank you for being here, and a huge welcome to Ewerton. I know I'm saying that wrong, and I apologize, but welcome. Welcome all the way from Brazil. That's wonderful. Let's see, Jim Cahill says D50 film. D50, okay. From FPP, right, I'm guessing? That's awesome. That's a great film stock. My favorite. Worldwide reach, I know, Mike. That is an oil drip pan, Travis. Double Super 8 Foma says they might do 100-foot rolls of Cine 100 on request. That would be great. If I had a double Super 8 camera, Jeffrey, I really need to get one. I have this one. Can you guys... Oh, you can't see it. Let me move my new camera out of the way. I have that camera behind my... See the Pathé back there? That's a double Super 8, but it has a lot of problems. It does run. It functions. But it doesn't have a viewfinder, and it's missing a couple of things. So I need a good double Super 8 camera. Because I have a roll of Foma double Super 8 film that I want to shoot. Not 100 foot. That would be really cool. So I'll check the cart when it arrives and report back. Yeah, now I'm curious, Mike. The guy bought the projectors from screened both the Ikai and the Elmo in his home theater room. Oops. In his home theater room. I just acquired a Sankyo XL40S in its case with accessories. Well, Mark, you're in luck. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but look at that. I can't see the name. That is an XL40. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Now you can. Maybe. There you go, Mark. There's my XL40S. So I bought this, I don't know, back in, well, I actually think I wrote it down. I bought this camera back in, I don't know, in May of this year. And I paid 60 bucks for it, but it came with two brand new rolls of film, an Ektachrome 100D Super 8 film and a brand new roll of Tri-X, the new Tri-X Super 8 film. So I have had this camera for a while, and it has the battery holder here, as you know, Mark, or whoever. I already showed this camera at a live stream, so I felt like the price of the camera was worth the price of the film, because I got two rolls. I actually got three rolls of film. There was a roll of film in the camera too. I don't remember what it was, but I got three rolls of film with the camera, and I paid 60 bucks for everything. And this one came with some groovy accessories too, Mark. It came with everything. I mean, it came with the manual, it came with a microphone, came with a filter. It actually came with two microphones. So yeah, I'm with you on those good finds, and congrats on that. But I want to show you what else I got for $10 plus shipping. Did you order off the internet? Hi Brazil. eBay auction. 16 Great Britain pounds. Well, that's a good deal.
Number 4.
Thank you guys. Russell says Sinternational. That's right. I like that. Sinternational. I am Sinternationally known. Okay. So, Super from Film Corner, MFA, marketed 71 to 80, whatever. Super silent and panchromatic black and white film, 200 ISO, 5500 degrees Kelvin, 8mm film. So it is a 50-footer. Okay. That's pretty groovy, though. So it'll shoot nice. I would shoot it at 100 ASA or ISO, and you'd be fine. Passed up on a double Super 8 Scoopik once, still regretting it. If it was a good deal, Ben, shame on you. I want a Vuex 16mm projector I saw on AV Geeks, so now I want it. I've never seen one. Pro 8mm, double Super 8 film. Okay, Pro 8. New camera. I have a Bolex double Super 8 and 2 Canons. I know Jim's got a lot of groovy cameras. Jim, you and Mike, Flying O, you two are like the camera hounds. You guys got the groovy stuff. All of us can just kind of, you know, look in awe. Hey Lyndon, how are you? Glad to see you. Vuex System 16 is my Grail projector. Well, I got to check out your Grail projector then. Sweet camera. Yeah, this is a nice one. So this popped up, and I wanted the film that was inside the camera because you guys know that I enjoy a good Super 8 sound found film. Well, picture this, seeing this on eBay, and then seeing the window, and you see the little sound marks, the sound wave, and I'm like, ooh, that's got sound film in it. Most of the time, the sellers don't even know what it is. They think it came with the camera from the factory. So I saw this. The Senkyo Sound XL61-200. It was, okay, in all fairness, it was untested, but I didn't really care because I really didn't even want, I wanted the film. But let me tell you why it was untested. And this was for real. And this seller didn't sell cameras, so I kind of was feeling okay about it, and I wanted the film anyway. But when you open the film compartment, I mean the battery compartment here in the handle, just the same as this one. The cameras are very aesthetically similar. There should be a battery holder in there. You see it sticking out? One of these things. And by the way, these are hard to find. Very hard to find. You can find the 6 AA holders like this, but not with this designation of pins on top. There's always one on one side and then next to it, long ways. So they won't fit properly. You have to manufacture it yourself. Luckily, they're the same brand camera, and this is the same that goes here. So what I decided to do was just, hey, seller didn't know if it works or not, so let's just find out. So I put some batteries in it. Sweet camera. Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't really, if I'm being honest, I didn't really know what I was getting into. I knew the 40 was a decent camera, and I had that one. But check this out. Now it's not going to work, you know that, right? Woohoo! What? You guys want to see the coolest thing about this camera? Other than the fact that it has 18 and 24 frames per second, which I don't think the 40 does, or maybe, yeah, it does. Auto manual exposure, lots of sound controls, which really don't come into play anymore. You can open and close the viewfinder. So if you're not filming, you all know that you want to close your viewfinder so the sun doesn't go in there and burn a little section of your film. Check this out. La da dee, la da da, la da dee, la da da. La dee da boo da dee do so dee. I'm gonna get a copyright strike for humming that song. Boo-whamma! Come on now, work with me. They're not the easiest things to get into the camera or out. You got to be smarter than the camera. And sadly, I'm not. Why is that out? Bear with. Oh, there we go. Now this flips up on the door. Now we have 200 feet of film. Okay, I know they don't make 200 feet of film anymore. They don't make these cartridges, but how cool is it that you have, now I have like 3 or 4 cameras that will accept this 200 foot, and I have 2 of these. You really can't reload them. Maybe I guess maybe you could. I've messed with them and they're almost impossible to reload, but it's just so cool. Right? $10. $10. Did I mention how much it was? And they fit comfortably. They get along. They don't fight. They fit together in this bag that my 40 came in. Yeah, I missed a ton. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Mike is here. Craftwork. Hey, buddy. There were no Super 8 cameras at the swap. Well, that's a bummer. They are underrated, Jim. Sorry, guys. Well, you know what, guys? I apologize. I know I'm going to miss a lot of these when I'm doing a goofy little demo. Solid camera. Senko 61-200 is a 200-foot camera. They have a stronger torque motor. I have one. That's awesome. Awesome. I can't wait to test it and then maybe do a video on it. And by the way, I don't remember who was it. Who had the other one? I did a video, I'm pretty sure, on this camera already, on the XL40S. If you have one coming, was that Mark? I think that was Mark. I'm here. Why is everyone so early, Dave Knopp? Hey, buddy. And it eats up batteries when it's not turned off. Yeah. You know what? I probably should take the batteries back out of this camera. $10. I mean, okay. It's $10, but I did have to pay for shipping. I don't know. It was like $15 for shipping or $20. I don't know, but I'm down. I mean, I can. What are you doing? $40 watching and only 17 thumbs up. Come on, people. 17 thumbs ups. Passed a CP16 for $350 about 2 years ago. Still regret not buying it. You know, Bonnie, you can get them pretty cheap still if you're not overly picky on their physical, aesthetic or their look or their condition. Not working condition. What do you call it? The how they look. You can get them pretty cheap. I've seen them on eBay recently for like $500. You don't really, you never really know if they're working or not, but there's not a lot that you get. If you get the non-reflex one, there isn't a lot that can go wrong with them, to be honest. Replace the belts. Hi there, Workinator. Oh boy. I'm on my laptop, so I can reference things pretty fast. Woohoo! I'm lacking in regular old Super 8 cameras. Mine are all so-so as far as the features and functionality. Yeah, you need to snag one or two. Mike, what did you or are you shooting that Tri-X with? Nice freaking camera with a sweet, still intact eyepiece. I know. And it had the lens hood. I mean, those sell for $10. The lens hood. Yep, what I had to do with my Minolta. Senko 61. Okay, I got that. Solid camera. Change the name to Filmboy24. You can get 9-volt adapter. Yeah, I like that. And then you just plug them in, right? So then you could retrofit these easily. Fit into a battery compartment, I guess. That's a good idea too, Mike. You just snap it in there. I'm kind of wondering too if you can just get one of those little holders and just sort of just move the thing. Move it over to the end. I don't know. Might take a little soldering work, but having weird power issues. I ordered mine off eBay, never checked the pin orientation. What are you doing? It's alive! That's a lovely camera.
I need to tell you something.
Mm-hmm. Here comes my little goofball.
Hi. Instead of Filmboy24, it should be Boy Film 42.
Boy Film 42? Why?
Yeah, because it just switched around.
Oh, you're doing it backwards. Do you want to tell everybody what's next Saturday?
Oh, next Saturday is my birthday.
What? Your birthday? How old are you going to be? 5? 4? 9.
9.
Oh, Piper. Oh my God, a Big Mag. I know, I love these. Crystal Waters, radios, you're on your game. La-da-dee, la-da, you know it. The Big Mag. Nothing more masculine than
I don't.
breaks new camera on live stream. They're messing with me. Hey, pre-happy birthday, Piper. Manu is here. Oh, look. His is next Saturday, too. Say happy birthday, Manu. See?
Manu.
Boy Film 42, genius. Happy birthday. Mike said happy birthday. Everybody said hi, Piper. I was just thinking, I was talking about shipping, and import prices had to pay like 60 euros. Woo! Guys, I got a couple things I want to show you. All right, you want to come back when we're done, okay?
Bye. I'll come back when it's the last.
We'll do a send out, okay?
Yes.
So I want to show you guys a couple of things. I want to tell you what happened because I do that a lot. I start and stop. I started, thank you, Manu. Alarog, hello, happy birthday, Piper. So I was starting to tell you guys, I did the film, you guys saw a couple of live streams ago, I did a black and white film in this. Remember, it was my wife mowing the yard. Well, this time I wanted to try something a little bit different. I wanted to do some rimjet based film in this 3D printed 100-foot spiral for 16 millimeter, 8 millimeter, and 35 millimeter film. I will tell you this, I've not seen a better print from something than this. It was so well done. It was done by Jeffrey. Jeffrey goes by, I don't remember on here. I don't see Film Girl 9. I don't see him on here now, but he does pop in from time to time. He can't write. For some reason, I'm having all these brain farts today, but I can't remember his username on here. But he sent this to me. He 3D printed it and sent it to me to give it, run it through some tests. I'm here to tell you that I finally ran into my first snag with it. So, with the Lomo type or the former Soviet 100-foot tanks and reels, I was running into an issue. I have 2 of those. One of them doesn't work at all because I ground down the center column too far like a moron, but the other one does work pretty good. But the issue that I have with it, as you start getting to the outer edge of these larger film spirals, your film is fine as it spools here, spools here, spools here. And oftentimes, once you get to this outer edge, there isn't as much rigidity. You like that word? There isn't as much rigidity on the outside edge, so the film will sometimes start overlapping and it'll just wrap around itself. So it's not even hitting the grooves anymore. It's just like you're wrapping the film up into a reel. Well, that's what happened when I did this one. I got probably 75 feet that spooled on nicely, and then the last 25 feet just wrapped around itself. Well, I caught it before I processed, and in the dark I'm unwinding it, and I redid it a couple times. It didn't work, so I put the film back in here. I came out and I said a few choice words. I gave myself a break. I went back in there and I did it again. And it happened. It happens a lot with the old Lomo style tanks. And I was able to get it to spool on perfectly. And I taped the edge and I put it in my black bag, the changing bag with the hands. And it was in the house. Crazy idea. 42 will be so, and I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, it really needs its own tank, I'm telling you right now. So I put it in the changing bag and kind of tucked it all in and everything. Then I could turn the lights on. Then I set the darkroom up with all of the pails, right? With these pails. I had 5 of these. The picture I showed you earlier is from my first attempt, but it was set up pretty much the same way. Now, if you know anything about ECN2 film, you know there's remjet on it. Just like there is the old Kodachrome and the old Ektachrome, the Ektachrome 160. There's remjet, and that's got to come off or you're going to contaminate your chemicals horribly. So what I did is I set one big pan here. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all around me. My black and white film I only needed 4, but for this one I needed 5. I actually needed a lot more than 5, but here's what I did. First bath was my remjet pre-bath. So it was my mix of, I used sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. And I just gave it a pre-bath in nice hot water for about a minute. Took it out, and my second bath was nothing but hot water. And I really gave it some good dunks to get that remjet off of there. Third bath, more hot water, but nice and fresh and clean. Get some more remjet off. Fourth bath, yet another hot, fresh, clear water bath. Just to get any residual. If the remjet, it's not all going to come off in these baths, but enough needs to come off that it won't come off in the developer. My fifth bath was my developer. Now I heated my developer to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. It's supposed to be 106 when you start, but I knew there was going to be some time, and it's in this big open bath, so I knew it was going to cool down by the time I got to it. So I then put it in the developer, and I gave it I did 4 minutes instead of 3, because it had been used for a while. It was an older batch. And then from there I went back into the previous aforementioned, well, maybe mediocre clear water. And at that point in the ECN2 process anyway, you could turn on the lights. You can bleach ECN2 and you can fix ECN2 film in broad daylight. It won't hurt it. So that's what I did. That's what I did. The kicker is now I've got to quickly get the film, not quickly I guess, but it's, you know, it's now in the wash process. So now I got to move into my kitchen where my bleach and my fixer is in the sink at temperature, staying at constant temperature with my sous vide. And now I'm dumping these big tubs and refilling them with more hot water and just really rinsing all the developer out. And now it's a constant process of filling these tubs with the bleach and then filling them with rinse water. It was a nightmare with ECN2 film. Don't know if I'm going to go through that again for ECN2. For black and white, it wasn't bad. I will give you that. It was not bad. No remjet, no problem. I'm going to show you what happened. First, I'm going to show you what happened, and then I'm going to show you what happened. So during the first, I'm guessing, the remjet bath, remember all this is in the dark, somehow the film decides that it wants to wrap around itself again like I showed earlier, or like I explained to you earlier. Thanks, Mike. Sometimes it's tricky, I'm telling you. Here's what I'm talking about. Take a look at this photo. That's the G-Now. The film is supposed to go to the outer edge. This is when I was in the final stages in the kitchen, and the film, as you can see, had skipped all of the remaining grooves, and then it started wrapping around itself at some point. I don't know if it's because I was turning the film for agitation. If you process your own movie film, you know exactly what this is. That's 8 feet of overlap. Now, that's 8 feet of overlap until the images starts. So luckily that was the leader. That was the front of the film when you're threading it into the camera. So I lost that 8 feet. Where's the film? Oh, I didn't bring it over, I don't think. Did I bring the film over? The film itself, which I didn't bring over, I have it loaded, but the film itself, where did I put it? Oh, it's over there. Another 10 feet of imaged film also wrapped around itself. So it's overlapping Now, when you overlap film, it's plastic, right? So nothing gets to it. The developer can't properly get to it, and you end up with nothing but white splotches all over the film. It's just, that's what you get when it overlaps, because a little bit of it will get developed, most of it won't, some parts will, most of it won't. So the first 10 feet or 15, 20 seconds, excuse me, of my film is nothing but that, of my actual images. I'm not 100% convinced that that 16 millimeter film is really truly for me for home processing outside of 50-foot lengths. 100 foot has been my arch nemesis. 100 feet of film has been my arch nemesis. It's difficult. It's very difficult to get it right. I know, Ben, that was a big uh-oh moment. No. Watch out, home developers, Remjet is waiting. Remjet, damn you, Remjet. You can make a parallel base for those two cameras and shooting synchronized, and you'll have two Super 8 and 3D, I know. So what happened was I ended up with film. I expected this film, by the way, it has the edge code. You know, I didn't even look up. It's Vision 3. It's Vision 3 250D. It does have an edge code of TK. So they did that. Let me see if that, may not even have that on here, but I don't know what TK is. I have it on my computer, but not on here. I'm not going to worry about it right now. 2000 and something. They started Vision 3, I believe, in 2007 or 8. So that or earlier. I got a lot of weird things going on with this film. Now, I will admit that I processed the film and I dried the film by hanging it up. It's the same process I always use. And I hang my 100 foot up on these makeshift hooks that I have on a rope, and it dried overnight. When film dries, especially a little bit older film, it will start to curl a little bit. So it's just hanging there, kind of curling a little bit, and it gets a little wavy. So I spool it up, leader the front, leader the back, and I scan it. Well, my scanner doesn't have an actual, what would you call, pressure plate that the film goes in between or goes across. It goes across two rollers, right? Two rollers, and it's open in the middle. So it wasn't really pulling it. You got to pull it really tight or pull it against the plate flat, or the film's going to get a little wavy in there. At least, ideally you want that film to stay rolled up for a while, a month or two, just to flatten itself out. And I didn't. I did all this yesterday in one day. Good name for a band, ECN2 and the Overlap. That's great. Cut these ruined leaders together and show it. Archie Film Festival call it the bane of DIY film developers' existence. Hope the story has a happy ending, I know. Had some lovely effects through overlaps, though. Well, I'm going to show you guys the overlap. I'm going to show you the overlap because I have it all ready to go. And we're also going to show film number 4 of 4. You guys remember the 1940s through 60s films that we've been showing that my buddy Jake sent me. We have the 4th one that I'm going to show you, the 8mm films, and we're going to try to figure out what's going on. Well, you'll know what's going on, but I almost forgot I also bought a model of a Boeing 757. That's awesome. That's a good price, by the way, Bonnie. I love airplane stuff. Remjet is a pain. I've done removal at the end of the processing. It holds pretty much intact throughout the process, and then do the removal bath, wipe it, and then stabilize. I agree, Mike. I agree, but is that with old film? With old film, I agree with you, but I've had issues with it doing new ECN2, though. Sometimes it will start coming off in my developer. But yes, you're right. If you do old Kodachrome or even some old Ektachromes, a lot of times you really don't even need the Remjet bath because you're not going to get a lot off anyway in the beginning. All right, so here. Let me just say really quick. I did nothing to the film except for a tiny little bit of sort of correcting the color a little bit and the white balance. It's not even been trimmed. It's kind of moves around because my scanner doesn't stay perfectly stable, so it does a little dancing. And like I say, it's warped here and there a little bit, so the film will breathe a little. You'll see it coming in and out a little bit. I didn't correct any of that. I'll rescan it in another couple months for, you know, just for archiving, but for now, that's what I got. This is what I got. And the first, like I say, 15, 20 seconds, you're going to see that overlap. Apologies now. Get your popcorn. Where's Jeffrey? Jeffrey, where's your popcorn? This is my film, and I was on a golf cart, by the way, for most of this. So that's why, and it's all handheld, all Aeroflex 16, all home processed, all home scanned. Overscan, you're going to see the perforation. You know I don't like that. God, I talk a lot. There it is. Thanks, Jeffrey. Turn the lights off. Hit the G now. There's some more popcorn. Almost through it. And we're going to come up one more time. We're going to get it one more time for just about 3 or 4 seconds. And then it should be done. There it is. That was a final overlap. And now we should be good to go for the most part. Let's see. Sent a picture on Gmail. Okay. Atomic test site. Yeah, there we are. Looks like Tarkovsky's stalker. Yeah, Ben, right? Creepy. This was shooting off the edge of the golf cart, just trying to get the film shot. I'm not sure what the light is at the bottom right there. Oh, it's 24 frames per second. And I used all 3 prime lenses. Area 51. Zulian's here. Looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Thanks, radios. Snap. This is the zone in Stalker. In fact, the overlap makes for a good horror film effect. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, Mike, you might be right. I think it is sunlight. Well, yeah, Bonnie, that I mean that's an insane deal if it works. Texas Chainsaw with 16mm Airy SR2. Yes, it was, Russell. 16mm. 8 seconds left, kids. Boom. That's what I got out of the Genau 16mm processing spiral. Bonnie sent this to me, and I'd say that's a good deal, Bonnie. Right? $3? Is that what it is? Is that what it's? Yeah. Get it. Looks good to me. Thanks. Would get it, but that $6 for shipping. Found Film, Filmboy24 Horror Film Festival. Ooh, I like the sound of that. I thought they used an Eclair NPR. I don't know what camera they used. I would trust Russell's word. I know it was 16mm. Have you ever made a dramatic film, not home movies or testing? I have. I've made quite a few short films, festival films, but on video, not film. But I do have quite a few Motion pictures. Yes, I have made some dramatics, some horror films, some drama films. Yes. So sweet. I'm sure Leatherface will come to say a little hello. Looks like most of Nebraska. Yeah, I know. This is Indiana. This is their farmland. They used a Rex 5 in some shots. Well, that's cool. Canon 514 is a great little camera. That's my go-to camera, Jim. I got one, and I take it everywhere. If I'm going to do a run and gun, that's the one I go to. I love the glass. Same here. I attended at a film festival together with a friend of mine, and we showed our film, but only video, not film. Well, I mean, let's be real. I love film. I do. I always have. But when you got 40 people on set, which we did at one point, and we're shooting a short film that came out to about 20-something minutes, and you're asking a lot from people. We did it on video. We did all of our films on video, and I'm happy with it. You know, we started out using the what do you call it? The Panasonic DVX 100. When that came out, it was all the buzz, and it shot 24p, and it had that film look. We loved it, and I shot a couple short films on that. Then we switched over to the Canon 7D, which was like then all of the buzz, you know, where it also did 24p, and it was beautiful, and we loved the look of it. So we shot some short films on that, and now we are at the stage in my life where I want to shoot films on film. Craig Booth. I love watching this live stream while consuming adult beverages. Craig is my buddy for last 30... How long, Craig? I started in 95, so 30 years almost. Good to see you, man. Were those hot spots lens flares from the reflection of the golf cart? They could have been, Battered. I don't know. That very well could be. Because it wasn't throughout the whole film, so it wasn't a light leak. Video is a little more convenient for that purpose. Yes, it is. Milk and vodka. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the importing fees from... It's not much. 814 is my go-to camera. I love my 814, Jim. It's just a little bigger for me than... my 514 fits in my cargo short pockets, so it's easy when we're walking around. Local seller. I got this Panasonic VHS-C with a built-in digital camera. Nice. Speaking of horror sci-fi, number 2 pencil. I don't know. We haven't gotten to that yet. I know, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's chomping at the bit. Jeffrey's the first one to send their Tri-X back. He sent me his Tri-X back. I mean, he's on the ball. I mean, there are a couple people that just, you know, are taking forever. SD slot. I don't know if I've ever seen an SD card slot in a VHS-C camcorder. That's interesting. You guys want to see the... Cecil is here. Hello, buddy. You guys want to see this last film? I'm so excited for the Horror Fest. I know, me too, Russell. First time. That was your first time shooting Super 8? We got to make note of that. Especially if it came out good. Alright. I'm going to show you this. This is film number 4. I will say it says Providence on the box. It's nothing earth-shattering in the film. It's regular 8. It's black and white. And it says 1943 handwritten on the box. Now it's handwritten, but it looks like it's written in pen, and the Providence is written in pencil. So I don't know if somebody's assuming. There's some, you know, we don't assume around here. The edge code on this did not match 1943. It matched 1930 something. However, the process before date does match the 1943. Because this is processed before July of 1944. Well before my father was even born. And he is now no longer with us. So this is an older film. I'm going to guess, yes, it's from 1943. Yes, more films. And while we're on the topic of horror films, take a look at this mug. I had a cool Umig 3, most pocketable Super 8 camera I ever had. I like those little ones, the little square ones. I think that's what you're talking about. I got one back there. They're fun. They have the little button that's like recessed, the magnetic button on top. How'd you process that, Mike? I just shot some. Are you talking about this, Russell? I did not. This is old film that was already shot. If you're talking about the film I just showed, I processed that in my my ECN2. I think you're talking about this, right? This one was already processed. This was just sent to me by a guy that has been a big supporter of the channel for a long time. He's a good guy. He actually sent me a camera or two also to review, which I did. So this was processed probably back in the 40s. And it's got the, you know, the metal reel. Ben says, Umig Mini 5 is my go-to daily camera. Size is important. Size is important. You are correct. I already get ads on YouTube for Halloween decorations. They're all over here. There's already decorations in all the stores. Let's show you what we got here. Let's get it queued up. This is from 1943. Again, it's nothing earth-shattering, but it's just fun. It's an old film. Don't forget that even today, in the full digital era, all the cameras have multi-effect, sepia, black and white, etc. A return to romantic capture of vintage photos. Yes, Jim, you're absolutely right. Let's not discount the advantage that some of us could have with some digital cameras. I mean, we can't ignore the fact that they're here. We're all analog junkies, but we can't ignore the fact. Believe it or not, I already use Christmas candles. Yeah, well, my daughter back there, she loves candles. So does my wife. They're always got one going. In stores since early September. Meant Mini 5, not Mini 3. Dope. Hit the like button, people. Thanks, Jim. Okay, here you go. Here's this film, 1943. Let's hit the lights. Regular 8. Not much done to it. She is either no longer with us or possibly a grandmother now. Popcorn, Jeffrey. For the record, the film is about 4 minutes long. Just amazing to see such little human beings from 1943. I mean, let's guesstimate that these little girls are probably 6. I mean, they're a little younger than Piper, and she's 8. So they're maybe 6 in 1943. So they were probably born in the mid-30s, mid to late 30s. So if they are around today, they will be in their 90s now. There you go, PD. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Jim. I find it funny how long they linger on the same scene, unlike today where everything is a jump cut in less than 3 seconds. Yes. Yeah, they actually cared about what their kids were doing. However, it is pretty amazing how they're just outside playing constantly, and you know, a lot of youth today is not really outside playing. We're playing dangerously, like climbing on the top of the swing set. Definitely shot in 1600s. Dog. That dog would be 90-something years old now. They are in their 80s. Yeah, they would have to be if they're around still. You know, women live longer than men. Typically, so there's a good chance they're still around. Whoop, get your head down. Did you see that smack? Yeesh. Now the film will get awfully rough. The second half really gets scratchy, really scratched up. Twins, yeah, they do look like twins. Here comes the second half, and they're playing, what is that, croquet, right? No Nickelodeon or any TV that I know of. Nothing to do except for play outside. Now watch. By the way, Dad has got a cool camera. He's going to be using the camera here in the shot in a minute. You just have to pay attention. Get the film back to the dog. Remchet. Very good focus and exposure, but I know for back then. Music like in the Little Rascals. You're right about that, Ben. It has a strange, more clear focus depth. I know. I was a little surprised at how well it was shot. Probably very bright day with a closed aperture, and just leave it, you know. Let's leave the focus alone. To think the parents are like, oh well, if you get hurt, it's your fault. Thanks, Cecil. I know, right, Jeffrey? All right, we're down to about the last 40 seconds. Look at those. Those little strollers are probably worth $400, $500 a piece now if you can find one. Wonder if it was the Revere I have. They were very good at Sunny 16 back then. I know. 20 seconds. There's the camera. And we're going to get a better shot here in a second, right at the end. Yeah, definitely about that, Ben. Cover TV in 62 here in Sweden. There's the camera. Looks like a little 8mm magazine camera. Just one of those Cine, you know, the Cine Kodak magazine camera is what it looked like. Which would make sense, you know. Those have been around probably the longest. I wonder what a wet-gate scan probably would do a lot. I thought that very thing when I was scanning this. There is a guy that makes wet-gate scanners now. Or, sorry, makes wet gates that I could mount to my 4K scanner. They're about $300. He just 3D prints them. He does a good job with them, to be honest, and they look pretty good. It might be something I'd consider before too long. I'm not sure. There's another guy that makes new guides that would help me, I think. Some things I may do to my scanner. It's not perfect. They were very good at Sunny 16. Shot with a prime lens. Cineception. Revere 81. Guys, all right, it is 1 hour and 16 minutes in. Those films are awesome. I know. We got through all 4 of them, too, Jeffrey. All 4 films. I want to do this more often. I have tons of films that are, maybe some that are might be even a little more interesting. I don't know. No grass cutting machines yet. Nope. You got a sickle. You know, one of those things you swing back and forth. By the way, I sent a new image. What did you send now, Bonnie? Let's leave with Bonnie's new image. I have one of these, Bonnie, that's a splicer, a guillotine splicer. 500 KR. I don't know if that, you guys see can you see the splicer? 500 KR, remind me how much that is? 10 is $1. So is that $50? I mean, that's a 35mm one though. Those are probably a lot more expensive than $50. Yeah, I don't know. That does not sound unreasonable at all. Russell, you have those at work. Yeah, that doesn't sound unreasonable at all. $50 for a guillotine slicer. Yeah, the Katazo or however you pronounce it. Those are expensive ones. I have one of the plastic ones for Super 8. I'd love to see this becoming a thing. One little film reel each stream. I think I'm going to do that. I've been doing that, Mike, and I think I'm going to continue that so long as I have a continuous product to stream. You know, these old school home movies that were processed years ago are fun. They're fun. I like doing my found film, my videos where I show the ones that I process. But these ones that were processed years ago are actually fun. I'm actually considering digging one of my personal ones out. I have some old sound film Super 8 that I shot in the early 90s. I don't know yet. The sellers probably. We are going to have to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody once again for joining me on this live stream adventure. I had a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to have a live stream next Sunday or not. You can step on that, it won't hurt it. That's old, I'm throwing it away. I don't know if we're going to live stream next Sunday. I will know by Saturday because we have something Saturday. I can't remember. What do we do?
It's my birthday.
Oh, that's right. She reminded me. Okay. Thank you, Jeffrey. Smash that like button, everybody. Russell's got some early 90s stuff, too. Smash it. Right, Piper?
Nah.
Smash it.
No,
Hi again,
no,
Piper.
This is how it is.
And thank you, Katie. I enjoy this so much.
No, I
Oh, you smash it and then you hide your... You actually smash your thumb off? Is it gone for good? Whoa. Happy birthday, Piper. It's my dad's birthday on Saturday, too. Say happy birthday, Jeffrey's dad. Thanks as usual. It's always a lot of fun. Coffee's all gone. Bye, Mike. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Ben, for joining us. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Manu. Happy birthday, Piper Nader. Thanks, Mike, and hi, Piper. Haja. Haja. That's Swedish. Haja. Right? Am I right? Happy birthday for Saturday, Piper. Thanks, Mike. Piper, see you all. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, everybody. I'm not doing these streams without you guys, and I love you all like family. I really do. Bye, fellow Mikes and everyone else. All the Mikes. There's a lot of Mikes on here today. Say bye, Mikes.
Bye, Mike.
Love you guys. I will see you hopefully next Sunday. I'll let you know. If not, it will definitely be the one after.